Welcome back, everybody. My name's APrater54, aka Adam, coach of the McChesney Park Slowpokes. And today I bring you the draft analysis for IDL Season 2 Serpent Division. This season, 1 second, we had 100 points to draft 9 to 11 Pokemon. Our Terra budget was included in that. There is Terra tax, so some mons costed more to Terra than others, so it made it a little bit tight. But all in all, having 9 to 11 Pokemon is definitely interesting. Uh, this is a low tier draft, and some of the mons top off at like Entei, Volcanion, Staraptor, Raikou, Crocodile. Not all of those could Terra, I believe, but it's still going to be interesting. But I was middle of the pack, I believe, pick number 8 out of 16. So we are going to hop on into it, and we're going to take a gamble with a wild card. Terra Volcanion. This thing cost me 19 points, almost a fifth of my 100-point budget, but unfortunately he's still shiny locked, but it is what it is. It's still a very good mon. So we're going to see what we can do with it. Volcanion overall has 110 attack, 130 special attack, 120 def, and 90 defense with 70 speed, making it a viable tank. It can be pretty viable. Access to flame charge makes it a setup threat, especially with weakness policy. Access to physical and special coverage galore like Earthquake, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Heavy Slam makes it a beautiful mon to use. But all in all, it's a saddening it doesn't get defogged this gen, but I can't wait to see what I can do with this thing as a Terra Captain. Choosing this thing's Terra is going to be incredibly hard in this format, I believe, depending on matchup, but we'll make it work. Next, we got 15-point Staraptor. This is our final Gambit mon. Alright, Staraptor, let's see. You have base 85 HP. So anything lower than that on my opponent's team gets absolutely nuked by Final Gambit if it's not Sash, Sturdy, or a Ghost type. A lot of mons in this format do not have good HP, but offensive stats. So we're going to see if we can pick them off with that. Access to Reckless and Intimidate makes this thing a physical nuke. Access to CC for steel types, also incredibly good. Brave Bird does a crap ton to things on switching. Even steel types don't want to take it. But it is still a phenomenal mon. What is your attack, good sir? 120 attack with Reckless boosted Double Edge Brave Bird is incredibly good. They have to have a good steel type or a good a good steel type or a good ground type or a good ghost to stop this thing. You can't stop both coverages without steel. So this forces people to bring their steel type, which is incredibly good for a 15-point mon. Being able to just nuke myself and nuke other people is good. So we are going to hop on into the next mon. We have Rabombe for 10 points. I wanted sticky webs. I wanted to be able to stun spore. I wanted to be able to switcheroo people. I wanted the speed tier of 124. This gives me access to quiver dance as well. I can set up and sweep if they have no physical attackers. AV or special defense walls or steel types left. This thing can pop off. Gotta get rid of the poison types too, but all in all, still a very good mon. Granted, it does not give coverage for fire types besides psychic, sword power, and psychic noise. So it kind of gets walled by steel and fire. but the rest of the team's going to handle that just fine. All in all, for 10 points, access to support moves, U-turn, light screen and reflect. Pretty good. It lost defog this gen though, but we'll make Ribambe work. Next, we have 13-point Hippowdon. This is the Sand Team. I wanted to finally try Hippowdon out. I've been doing T-Tar, I've done Gigalith, I have never done Hippowdon. Since Excadrill is not here, I figured might as well get the bulkiest one that's available with Sandstream. This also gets access to, I believe, Sand Forts as well. So if something else sets Sand, I can abuse it, the Ground and Rock moves. This gives me access to Heavy Slam for Fairies, which is incredibly good. Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, Fire Fang. Gets access to Muddy Water if I need it. Something that's ×4 weak to water. I can be cheeky, pick them off with that. Lower their accuracy, and be incredibly annoying. If you can't hit this Hippowdon just slacks off in your face. This gives me access to rocks. This gives access to defensive bulk, which I'll take. Oh no, this is my tank. This is my offensive tank. How often do you see me draft offensive tanks? But all in all, well worth the 13 points, especially with Yawn and Whirlwind and Stealth Rocks forcing my opponent out. I'll take it. Then we've got our hazard removal in Decidueye Hisui. This mon can be both physical and special. Gets access to Sword Stance and Nasty Plot. I believe it gets access to Vacuum Wave as well. No, it does not get access to Vacuum Waves, shockingly. But it gets access to Sucker Punch, Shadow Sneak, Upper Hand, but no Vacuum Wave. So what's the point of Nasty Plot if you can't even Vacuum Wave? Unless my dock's bugging. Let me see if it actually does. Nope, it does not get Vacuum Wave. Alright. That is good to know. But I believe this guy is, what are you, 112 attack, 95 special attack? 95 Spadef makes this thing a little bit of a tank. Not a lot of good ground types can break this thing apart. And it has answers for swap-ins. This has Rock Tomb for fire types. This has Triple Arrow to not only crit, lower defense, but also flinch. So Triple Arrows can get all three effects. Slap a scope lens on this, click SD, outspeed things in front of you, and this thing can just pop off even through screens because it's a high critical hit ratio with Triple Arrow. And this thing gets scrappy and it can punch through ghosts. That is incredibly good. And it blocks Intimidate, which is spammed in this low tier format. But all in all, for 8 points, Decidueye Hisui is well worth it. I'll run defog when I need to, and I'll just be offensive the rest of the way. This is a mon I was unsure of keeping. There wasn't really much. I was debating if I want a Psychic type and a Grounded Poison, so I just got Monkey Dory so the draft can continue. After building for my week 1 and trying to build with it in general, I decided I don't like this thing. I don't like that it's restricted to Ghost, Poison, Fighting, and Psychic type moves and nothing else. So Monkey Dory's week 2-4 going forward is going to be Houndstone for 8 points. Monkey Dory was 10. I actually got this thing thinking it had Encore, so I can be cheeky, Encore lock you, U-turn out, Toxic Chain you, but oh no, it just, no, it's not my cup of tea. So Monkey Dory is going to be Houndstone week 2 going forward. And then we got our Sand Rush Abuser. We have Blueberry and Bluey, depending on if I'm male or female. This is Lycanroc Day, gets Sand Rush, allowing me to have speed control and be able to hammer my opponent for 7 points. It It was tempting to make this thing a Terra Captain, but I decided not to. I might later on, depending on how Volcanion turned out. At some point, Lycanroc could become a captain, but Lycanroc's here to just hammer things and punish people. Access to rocks, Cell Rocks, Sucker Punch, gets access to CC, Play Rough, Fire Fang, Thunder Fang. Fire Fang's fun for Fortress, it can't really switch into it, it gets 2-tapped. And having just the priority is incredibly nice for its speed tier of 112 is incredibly good. So we will hop on into the next mon. We have the return of Bisharp, aka Andy, or, well, this one's also Bluey. But, yeah, with Intimidate being spammed in this format, Defiant is incredibly good. Webs are dominant in this format. Defiant is incredibly good. A lot of teams don't want to take a Sucker Punch to the face, especially resisted. Webs is a free +2. Intimidate is a free +1 attack. This thing gets rocks and T-Wave. Gets access to various rock type moves to hit flying types and fire types, so they get punished as well. And just having Stab Iron Head is great. There even is a specific set with Life Orb where a mixed Bisharp can also pop off. But it's very situational. It's got to be incredibly frail mon, and realistically, you're only running Grass Knot if you're going to do it. Realistically, you only see that in matchups where the mon is timed for weak to grass. Well, I run Grass Knot and absolutely blow it back. But that is Bisharp for 9 points. I got hiccups now. Next, we have our second Terra Captain. I was drafting. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was half asleep. I misread Veluza's Terra points. I thought it was 4. Nope, it was 5. It was 1 point extra to Terra this thing. Access to Flay Away with Sharpness. Gets access to not only, I believe it gets Flip Turn and Aqua Jet. It gets priority. I can pick off things. I can Flay Away and get a +2/+2/+2 at the cost of half my HP. Add a Citrus Berry and a Resist Terra. This thing can turn the tides of games. I kind of like this little gap right here on Veluza in front of its fin. It makes it look like it's about ready to shoot something out, like its scales, or just the fillets in general. But all in all, incredibly good mod. Its sharpness boosted with 102 attack, 78 special attack, which isn't bad. Flay Away can be a stored power set special wise, and I can bypass physical walls with it if I wanted to, which is incredibly good. Having Open Terra with this is phenomenal, but well worth the 5 points. Haunter was also iffy for me. After building for week 1, it had the same thing with Monkey Dory. I don't like having to be Eviolite locked, and just to be a nuisance with Will-O-Wisp, Destiny Bond, and Nasty Pot, and a few other things. So this Haunter is being subbed out for a Hisui. At least with that thing, I can actually do immediate offense. And Sneasel Hisui has 115 speed, allowing me to outpace a lot of other mons. It has Inner Focus, stopping Intimidate spam, which is incredibly good. Stopping me from getting confused as well. I'll take it. Sneasel Hisui after this subs out. It has like 95 attack. 55 defense, 75 special defense, and 115 speed for an Eviolite mon. So that is fat mon with SD. Can't be intimidated. Now I'm just hammering away. So for 5 points, I'm replacing Haunter, which was 3. So I'll have Houndstone, another Sandrust Abuser, and Decidueye with speed tier coverage. Gives me Taunt, gives me Encore, gives me a few other things as well as T-Spikes. I will not have a Psychic type this whole draft. I don't really like psychic types, but we will make it work. And to round off the draft, we got Light Ball Pikachu. This was tempting to make a Terra Captain, I'm not going to lie. Being able to double my offenses, my base 55 attack and base 50 special attack with Light Ball, have Lightning Rod or Static, and just surprise people with damage output, it's pretty good. This also gets Volt Tackle, this gets Knockoff, this is behind webs. This is going to have fun. This allows me to have momentum with Volt Switch to pivot out on Rapid Spinners and pivot out on Defoggers, so I can go straight into my Bisharp or my Houndstones and Spin Block, or take advantage of Defiant plus 3 attack on Bisharp. I'll take it. But all in all, that is the team. We look forward to week 1 that comes out next a week from today when I face off against King. It's going to be an interesting season, folks. Tell me what you think about the team down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And enjoy. I will catch you guys later. Peace.